Hello, can you guys hear me? What up? Sweet. Sweet. All right. Got a couple people filing in. Yeah, the plan for today is we're going to try to build Combat Phlage. It's been one that I've been thinking about for a little while, and I think it'll be fun to do. Hopefully, Phlage is in this Magic Online account. I didn't think about that before I loaded up here. Oh, there it is. Cool. So we'll start with the old Phlage list, and then we'll try to modify this into a Combat Phlage list. Let's see here. And if all this hopefully doesn't take too long, then we'll try to get a game in with it. Oh, let's see. Okay. Step one is make a new copy of the deck. Step two is remove the known combo pieces. It's going to be painful, but I'm going to cut Underworld Breach because even if you try to play it for value, it's one of those cards that like just accidentally combos. So, you know, against all better judgment, I'm going to cut Underworld Breach. We do have Savine's Reclamation. I might add some like Miraculous Recovery type stuff into the deck. Okay. First, we're going to read this because I haven't actually played it in a very long time. So when it ETBs, sacrifice it unless it escaped, which means that blinking it's not great unless you're like looping it infinitely or something. When it enters or attacks, it deals 3 damage to any target and you gain 3 life. So yeah, there's a couple things on there. Like, obviously Lightning Helix, cool card, great Boros card. Trample and Lifelink are going to be really good on Phlage. So immediately I'm thinking like Luxodon Warhammer and Shadow Spear. Maybe we throw like a small life gain payoff in the deck. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Sleep, what's that? Commander Replay has new content for the first time in like 4 years, it seems. Yeah, I know. I've been slow. I'm sorry. I did put a video out last week, though. And that Aurelia game, like, that reinvigorated me a little bit. That game, like, warmed my heart. Stopping a Keurig player dead in their tracks was absolutely magical. Yeah, no, so the current version is very combo based, and you are not wrong in that it is kind of a banger of a deck. We do want to modify it so we get away from the combo. It's been so long since I actually played this that I don't remember all the combos that I jammed in here. I know that Underworld Breach was one of them. Phyrexian Altar, huh? That's one of those cards that kind of accidentally goes infinite too, isn't it? So you'd like play it, and then you'd sacrifice it to itself and get a mana back, which is kind of cool. I guess if you take out like Karmic Guide and Revelark. Okay, yeah, so we got, there's a Karmic Guide Revelark combo in there. Maybe if we get rid of the sack outlet. Yeah, okay, we'll get rid of the sack outlets. Phyrexian Altar gone. Where's the other ones? There we got an Altar of Dementia. No Goblin Bombardment. Oh, Death Touch is also going to be really good for what we're doing. Yeah. Looks like I thought about some of this beforehand. We're going to need some amount of milling and just like ways to put cards in the graveyard. Exiling 5 cards from the graveyard to escape is a few. Yeah, the salty dude was real fun in that game. And the second he started going off, I'm like, oh, this is going to be beautiful for content. And, you know, I was just kind of laughing about it the whole way because, you know, we all knew what was happening, right? Like, he was probably going to win right there. So that was all highly entertaining. Probably don't need an angel. Yeah, I don't think we'll need Angel's Grace. I think that's part of the Breach combo. Let's see what else. Okay, looks like I put some of this stuff in the last time. played this. Restoration Specialist. Cool card. Undervalued card. Fighter class is nice. Gorgon Flail. Boots. Mesmeric Orb. Mesmeric Orb is funny because it's just like, even if we're not comboing, someone's going to have to spend removal on it. Like, it's just that kind of card that causes headaches. And I'm here for it. Ooh, you know what might be good? What's that thing called? The Iganjo card. Iganjo. Restoration of Iganjo, that's the one. So, gives us another... Oh, it's already in here. Whoops. Looks like I already thought of these things. Fervor, going to be good for what we're doing. Jessica's Wheel, always good. More haste. Wheel of Fortune. We might be able to live... It does fill the graveyard. It does fill the graveyard. Yep, keeping a few wheels. What's this one do? If a red or artifact source you control deals that much damage +1. Yeah, that's pretty good too. We have 17 creatures. I feel like we need to get many more creatures into the deck. Like 24, 25 would probably be a number that would make me happy. Searing Meditation. I've always wanted to use this card in Commander, and it's just like so difficult. Just because you gotta find it. It's not the easiest to find. It's not a ton of damage if you get it working. Like, the payoff for it really isn't all that amazing. Although, as things get smaller, it probably does a lot more than it used to, so that's exciting. All right, what else are we getting rid of? Roaming Throne. It's pretty wild. I guess we'll keep it. That's for the Wheel of Fortune combo. We can get rid of that. That's just ramp. That is ramp. This is looting and ramp. Flame Tongue, I just like. Sulfum. Still need to build that Sulfum deck. What a disgusting card. Tectonic Giant. Got a Fault Line up there. Love me some Fault Line. Oh yeah, Reaver Cleaver is pretty disgusting, isn't it? Reaver Cleaver. Yeah, we should probably just put that in. It's very good. I'm going to try to not go wild with the equipment. Just a couple of key pieces, I think, is what we're aiming for. Reaver is definitely strong enough to make the cut. Trample on a 6/6, also a good time. Let's get that Shadow Spear that we talked about. I'm definitely going to eat up all my deck slots doing this. Throw in all the equipment. Make it like it. Oh, Shadow Spear's already in here. Love that. All right. Get a deck spot back. Brass Tunnel Grinder instead of Wheel. I don't know which one's the Brass Tunnel again. Oh yeah, I've seen this guy. Enters, discard any number of cards, then draw that many cards +1. Yeah, we can put it in. Does cool stuff. Immediately ordered some Final Showdowns after that play and Aethersworn Candidates for Liberty Prime. Yeah, we did some things. We did some disgusting things with those in that game. I was hoping we'd get a few more deck slots. We did just eat a bunch up with equipment. We may revisit the equipment package. This is part of a... that does go infinite. That was in there. Oh, that's in there to go infinite with Mesmeric Orb, huh? Okay, yeah, cut that. Cut that. Okay, we have 4 deck slots. What are we adding in? Mostly looking for creatures. Mostly looking for creatures. A cool life gain payoff could be interesting. I kind of forget what the life gain payoffs are because I haven't played life gain in a little bit. We got Shadow Spear. We got... I'm going to add one more equipment tutor. Just because, like, I really want to have Shadow Spear on there because that will be awesome. Faithless looting, you know you love it. Ugh. It's just such a bad way to fill the yard. There are so many better options than faithless looting. Ugh. Like, I would rather run Gift of Estate. Actually, it should already be in here. I'm pretty sure I put it in last time. Is Gift of Estates still bugged on Magic Online? Did they ever fix that one? That's a question. Maybe we'll go land tax instead. I'd rather just go like land tax and dump a land or two. Quite honestly. Okay, we need cool creatures. So first, let's get some combats in here because that's going to be a key part of what we're doing. So, OG Aurelia. What's the best art? Oh, I haven't seen that one. No, that's the other one. We'll just go with this one. Get some Aurelia. Who's the D&D card? Extra combat. What's her name? Celestine the Living Saint. Oh, is she online now? She is. Flying Lifelink. At the beginning of your end step, return target creature card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the amount of life you've gained. This seems good to me. Probably a lot of 5-drops, but what can you do? Sand Scout, huh? 2 mana, enters if an opponent controls more lands than you, search your library for a desert card, put it on the battlefield tap. Whenever one or more lands are put into your graveyard from anywhere, create a 1/1. It's interesting. We'll probably be putting, there's a lot of fetches in here. Lands will be going to the graveyard. Is it good enough? Like, it's definitely cool, and it's definitely value-y. There's definitely a world in which we could add this. And then you can skull clamp all the 1/1s. Yeah, that does seem pretty good. Does seem pretty good. I guess we'll add it for now and then see where things are. Well of Lost Dreams for card draw. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Well seems really powerful. We do need more creatures, though. What's that, God, I can't think of her name. The D&D character from Universes Beyond with the combats. Let's type in additional combat and see what happens. Karlach, that's the one. Oh my god. Couldn't think of it. Yeah, Karlach is sick. We're going to add some Karlach. What do we got? Exemplar of Light. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Whenever you put one or more +1/+1 counters on this creature, draw a card. Seems good. Seems good. All right. Are there any cool... Are there just like any generically cool combat creature? Yeah, the way to do this is we're going to go here. Nobody look at that. We're going to go to here. And then we're going to go to here. See if there's any like cool, interesting, just combat creatures, you know, stuff that triggers on combat that I'm forgetting about. Law Above is interesting. I don't know that it's like completely at home in this deck. We do have a lot of 5-drops also. That's a thing to be concerned about. Ooh, Exemplar of Justice would be good for the Trample and Vigilance. That I like. Firemane Avenger kind of likes the same things that the rest of our deck is doing. Might add that just for funsies, because if we ever get both of those going for some reason, that would be really fun. Oh, yeah, we should probably put an Iroas in the deck, huh? Iroas, pretty good. Blade Historian, also very good. Well, let's watch the 4-drops get completely filled up and to an uncomfortable place. So we said Exemplar. You know, I don't run Shatterskull that much. It does take a lot of mana typically. And, you know, we're in the era where it's like I'm trying to keep my basic land count up as much as I can. Like, if you have the full suite of fetches and duels and all that stuff, like, running something like that does become more difficult. If you have not every single fetch like I do on Magic Online, then that's a much easier card to run, and I would definitely think about it more. Alhammer, oh yeah, Alhammerets is pretty. Although Alhammerets doesn't trigger on your first draw. The life gain would be cool though. I might skip Alhammerets. It is kind of a clunky play. But we are going to get this Exemplar of Justice. Do you think we need an Iroas? Because you always need an Iroas. Bitterthorn's in the deck. Animist is in the deck. Hearth and Home's in the deck. Who else is... I mean, probably like a Mirage. Mirage is just generically good. Let's go back over here, see if there's any cool stuff. So then it kind of gets into some of the other things. Okay, so then we'll switch over to... We'll just see what Iroas has for recommendations. Enduring Courage. Another creature enters, gets 2/0 and haste until end of turn. That's a haste source. That's cool. If it dies, if it was a creature, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control as an enchantment. Ooh. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I might throw that in. More haste. Odric, always good. Oh, we gotta get the Blade Historian, don't we? Let's see, where's the good one? Not that one. This one. We do need a Blade Historian. Oh, so many 4-drops. So many 4-drops. Alright, get rid of Flame Tongue Kavu, even though that makes me sad. Love me some Flame Tongue Kavu. Nelly Borka, huh? That's another 4-drop, isn't it? We got too many already. We need less 4-drops. It is a 4-drop. When an accuser attacks, suspect the target creature, then goad all suspected creatures. It seems good. I just don't want any more 4-drops. I'll be honest with you. Goading is generally OP in most scenarios that it exists. So that's a thing. What other cool creatures? What other, like, cool combat? I guess, you know, combat creatures are out there. Tajik is interesting. It doesn't blow me away. Adeline is generically good. Tori's interesting. Another 4-drop, though. Balefire is kind of cool. I don't know that Balefire fits, but... let's see... Twin Flame Tyrant. The source you control will deal damage to an opponent or permanent opponent double? Yeah. Yes, please. Let's go get one of those. Twin Flame Tyrant. Generous Plunderer. Menace, at the beginning of your upkeep, you may create a treasure token. When you do, target opponent makes treasure. When it attacks, it deals damage to defending player equal to the number of artifacts they control. Oh, yeah, that could be good. Could be good. We'll try it. I'm going to have to cut some, like, classic staples to get some of this stuff in the deck, but I think that's fine. All right. Any other, like, cool creatures in particular that we're looking for? Oops. I guess we'll just do a quick search of Phlage also, just to see any cool recommendations. Twin Flame. It's probably going to be all, like, damage combo stuff, I'm guessing. Oh, that's interesting. When a creature without flying dies, return to the battlefield under control with a flying counter. It would just die again, though. So I guess it's like, it essentially gives you 2 triggers. That's interesting. It is another 4-drop, though. Probably need less 4-drops, but that's an interesting effect. When it, let's see. No, it doesn't exile it. Yeah, Luminous Broodmoth. Pretty interesting. Calamity Bear, if a giant, giants do double damage, yeah. I think we want giants doing double damage. Soul Sisters? I should build a Soul Sisters deck, actually. That'd be fun. I don't know who I would do as the commander for it. Yeah, let's get this Calamity Bear. Celestine, Court of Ardenvale. At the beginning of your upkeep, return target permanent with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to your hand. If you're the monarch, ooh. Yeah, let's keep loading up them 4-drops. Let's go. Hope this thing's on Magic Online. Court of Arden. Sweet. Star Athlete? Yeah, that's a good question. That appears that it is. In attacks, choose up to 1 target non-land permanent if they deals 5 damage to that player. Yeah, that seems too confusing. Any Norn. Yeah, that's you thinking, ooh, Mother of Machines? Yeah. Yeah, this seems like a Mother of Machines kind of deck, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Someone sent me one. I still gotta build it. Yeah, it's gonna trigger twice. That seems real good. That does seem real good. Oh man, with that, then it would, like, basically have to run. You have to run at least one of these. Okay. Dragonhawk is I need to build mono red combat at some point, just because, like, you get different choices, right? There's a lot of choices I won't make if I have both colors at my disposal. And you're mono red, you just have to do things differently. Exile to top X cards of your library, where X is the number of creatures you control, power 4 or greater. You may play those until your next end step. We'll try it. It might get cut. We have a lot of 5-drops. We have a very hefty mana curve. All right. I think we're going to the cutting mode. City of Fire for triple. Yeah, I mean, we could. We have enough doubling that I don't know that we need to go with that, because, like, some other stuff's probably going to happen here in a minute too. God, what do we cut? All right, this guy seems cool, but I am going to cut him just because, like, he's a cool value-y thing. I don't know that he's completely... Like, if Aurelia was the commander, sure, right? With Phlage, I don't know. Maybe not. This thing also makes 1/1s. I'll cut this thing. We got to cut somewhere. Blind Obedience does so much. That's a hard one to justify cutting. We probably don't need Enlightened Tutor. Oh, I guess we are playing Open Magic Online, so maybe we do want Enlightened Tutor. Virtue of Courage. What does this one do again? Whenever source you control deals non-combat damage to opponent, you may exile from the... Oh, yeah, that seems good. That seems really good. I can live without Reforge the Soul, I think. think we have enough draw without it. 5 mana, it's kind of a lot. Always has been. It's always been like a little clunky. Gisela is double damage. Fault line is cool. I'm gonna get rid of Revelark. I'm gonna keep Karmic Guy because we do have some ETB synergy, and that's just too good to give up. I'm gonna give up Revelark, and I know there's sort of like a soft kind of loop in there, but I feel okay going without it. And which one? Storm of Souls is on. What's the other one? Ascend from Avernus is now. Make sure everyone hits the like button, by the way. Avernus. There we go. Oh, is this on Magic Online finally? Oh, I think it is. Oh, we're putting this in just because it hasn't been available for years. I just want to play it. I don't care that it doesn't fit our deck. It's not bad. It's not a bad card, so we'll keep that in. And then let's see. What are we at? 111? Ugh. Ugh. 111 is basically we need to cut like probably 2 from, well, probably 3 from each of our slots. So we'll start with 5 drops. Celestine's cool. Norn's cool. Karmic, good. We can... Do I want to live without a Volcanic Offering? No, but we need to free up spots. This is more like card draw, basically. Mana Geyser, Twin Flame. Virtue seems insane. That looks disgusting. Inferno Titan, Mirage, Sun Titan, Gisela. I get why we want to put Well of Lost Dreams in. Is Well of Lost Dreams too clunky? Like, it's a very, very clunky Magic card. Now, if it stays in play for like 2 turns, you probably draw your deck. But mixed feelings. Mixed feelings on this Well of Lost Dreams. What do you guys think? You know what? I think I talked myself out. I'm going to cut the well. We got to get rid of 4 drops, and if you don't get it like right on, if you don't either have like a ton of mana or get it right on turn 4, it's like a very expensive play. And yeah, I don't know. It's been very clunky for me in the past, and I don't know that the ramp is amazing in this deck right now. We'll free up the Gorgon Flail. We have Basilisk Collar already. Kind of doing the same thing. So, redundancy on that effect is probably a good idea, but for now, just trying to like get a feel for stuff. That's basically a wheel. More wheels. Is Wheel of Misfortune good enough? Yeah, it's probably fine. This increases the damage by 1. We'll try it. Scab Clan Berserker is just a card that I like to run more. Also, we have all the damage doublers in there. Yeah, that could be really cool. That could be really cool. Man, tough to cut any of these. All right, we'll cut Descent into Avernus, even though I really, really want to play it. Although it does make a ton of mana, doesn't it? Put 2 counters on it, then each player creates X treasure tokens and speeds everyone up, though. That can be scary. Yeah, cut Descent. Although, maybe. It also like kills things, and killing things is cool. I don't know. Seems like too much of what we want. See what we got for 4 drops. Doesn't have any keywords naturally. I think we want the Odric because we don't have like tons of keywords everywhere. It's not a keyword-centric kind of deck, so being able to spread them probably going to be a pretty good idea. I'm going to cut the Enlightened Tutor. It's Enlightened Tutor can get like fun stuff like I want to cut it because I do cut it from a lot of decks, just because like it's so generically good that's like it sort of kills the randomness of your deck, right? Like any artifact or enchantment is a pretty wild thing to do, so a lot of times I do end up cutting it if I don't have like a specific need for it. But like part of me just wants to live the Searing Meditation dream. The other part of me is like, Virtue of Courage seems insane. So there's all of that. Bloodthirster? Yeah, Bloodthirster's insane. Read him again. That's not the one. There he is. Flying Trample deals combat damage to a player. Untap it after this additional combat. Yep. Yeah, we should probably put that in, shouldn't we? Although, I don't want another 6-drop. We can... Like, Atali should be in the... Yeah, I know what Atali does. Atali wins the game if it stays in play for 2 turns. Bloodthirster's a bit newer. Still have 9 cuts to go. We'll go Bloodthirster over Murag. Murag, you got to set the landfalls up. It's not the hardest thing to do, but it is a hoop that you have to jump through. Okay, let's go back over here. Try to get rid of something small. Ramp. Draw. Oh, that's for the combo. We don't need that. There's a card we can get rid of. More ramp. Talisman. Land tax. I'll cut the Steel Shaper's Gift. I mean, normally I would just run this and so we can find all of our cool equipment, but we just got to get rid of cards. We got to get rid of cards so we're not here all night trying to build this thing. Restoration's cool. Savine's is cool. Map is cool. Anyone see any cuts? We're looking for cuts. We need to free up a couple 4 drops and 3 drops. We definitely got to get rid of something. Keeper, Smothering Tithe. Is Smothering Tithe still good? I haven't actually seen it in a game in a long time. Or does everyone just know to shoot it immediately so that it does nothing? 8 5-drops is probably still one too many. I'm going to cut Mechanized Warfare. It's cool, but we do have a lot of doublers in the deck. We have things that, like, we have things that do the same thing but better. I know that one's cheaper and more efficient, so you can, like, get it in on curve, which is kind of interesting, but for the sake of it, we got to make cuts. Smothering won't last. Rotation. Seems fair. Is Big Score good enough? Generally, I would say no, but we do need to be able to put cards into the graveyard just for the escape. So, you know, some amount of these type of effects is okay. I think we will. I'll cut the Smothering Tithe. Just because, you know, I assume that people will just shoot it. So, let's see. Now, 25 creatures. You got 34 lands plus flip lands. There's at least one right there. We have land tax and tithe. That's probably okay. Yeah, we have a lot of things that find lands, so that's good. Um, was this more double damage? Yeah, that's more double damage. Can't get rid of that. Torbrand's an interesting one, right? So, like, because there's a lot of damage doublers. Like, +2 is also good. Yeah, we should probably just leave it. There's a world in which I could cut Torbrand, but I don't know. Seems fun for what we're doing. What we got? 4 cuts to go. Anything over here? I'm going to swap our Austere Command for Farewell, since this is Open Magic Online. That sort of play does become necessary. Honestly, well, now that we have Final Showdown, and once again, we are going to be in Open Magic Online, where anything can happen, so I'm going to go Final Showdown over the Fault Line, but I do really like Fault Line. Oh, what's next? Still at 103. Is Searing Meditation worth it with the amount of double damage that you have? No, like, probably not. I just want to live that dream. It's just a dream that I want to live. So, like, no, it's probably not worth it, but it will make me happy, and that's why we're here. Probably need to cut a 3-drop. Oh, Wheel of Misfortune. I'm gonna go Wheel of Misfortune. I'm going to cut. Dismantling Wave is too good. I don't know that our artifact and enchantment removal is great in the moment. Which actually means we should probably add a Durgar Hedge Mage, because that'll give us ways to kind of repeatably shoot stuff. Should probably get a Hazoret's Monument. I know we're going up in card count now. Because it does allow us to loot, and looting is important for filling our graveyard. Let's see. Now what do we get rid of to fix all of that? Wheel of Fortune, Reaver, Rising, Jessica's. I think of getting rid of Restoration of Iganjo. Like, it's good and it definitely fits. But it's not like... It's not incredible at any of the things that it does. It's, like, only okay. And we just need less 3-drops. We need way less 3-drops. In fact... I'm going to cut Dismantling Wave. Cutting more artifact and enchantment removal doesn't seem correct. Does not seem correct. That doubles things up. I like Exemplar, and it is cool. It is nice and does fun things, but I think we'll be okay without it. We need slots. We need slots so bad. Love to cut another 5-drop. What can we get rid of? Flying when enters or attacks. Enters or attacks. Exile the top card. X cards your library. X is the number of creatures you control. Power forward. Oh, that's so good. It does so much. Does anyone see any cuts? How are you fueling the graveyard? I would say poorly at this moment. We do have Wheel of Fortune. We have Land Tax, Tithe. Big Score, Hazoret's Monument. Mesmeric Orb is a big one. So there are a few ways. I'm not saying it's going to be the most consistent thing that's ever happened in anyone's life. Oh, one of the 3-drop haste and oh, haste seems so good with our commander though. Do we have boots in here? We do have boots. Yeah, I guess we can get rid of one haste. We'll get rid of fervor. 101, getting there. Uh, 13 on the 4 drops. One less 4 drop would make me a lot happier. Is Tectonic... Maybe Tectonic Giant's not good enough. Although, a lot of damage doubling. 6 damage to each opponent is a lot of damage. If it becomes more than that for some reason, that's insane damage. Hey, Dylan. I'm in Austin, Texas also. All right, 2 cuts. What do we got? Need 2 more cuts. I could see the world in which this is actually not a Mask of Memory deck because there's not a lot of early creatures. This doesn't have evasion. But it's just like such a helpful thing to have. The second someone has an opening, like, you're just like, oh, I'm drawing some cards. I am drawing some cards. Is this the right deck for Odric when your commander lacks keywords? Oh, Mask of Memory does fill the graveyard. That's a very good point. Yep, Mask is staying. So the dream is that, you know, something like Aurelia's in play with the Odric, but maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Plus, we do have multiple haste swords. Okay. You know. Yeah, we got to get rid of something, and getting rid of a 4-drop is definitely correct. 1 to go. 1 to go. You know, I really need to build a Punisher deck. Never really built a good Punisher. Never got around to it. Blind Obedience is so good. One to go. 1 to go. I don't feel great about cutting a land. We're at 35 basically already. So with this is a bigger mana curve than I've played in a while. And there's good ramp in the deck. I don't know that the ramp is necessarily commensurate with how big this curve is kind of getting, but can Bitter Reunion replace a haste card and a loot card? That's a good question. Bitter Reunion. Enters, you may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. Sacrifice. I'd rather have the static. Like, the static effect is just... Static haste is so good in a combat deck. Like, there's definitely a world in which you could run this, right? So, you get the loot, and then you sacrifice it, and that puts 2 cards in the graveyard, and there's very much a world where that makes sense. But... Where is it? Rising of the Day is, like, actually insane. Because it's just like, cast Phlage, shoot something, attack with Phlage, you know. Probably half the board is dead by that point. Man, I don't want to give up on Blind Obedience. We just need ways to, like, interact with our opponents in annoying ways, and Blind Obedience does that exceptionally well. 1 cut. We need 1 cut. Dismantling Wave? Because we have the Durgar Hedge Mage, and the Hedge Mage is much easier to reanimate. So if it ends up in the graveyard for any number of reasons, where Dismantling Wave, once it's in the graveyard, it doesn't do a whole lot for you. So Dismantling Wave it is, even though getting rid of artifact and enchantment removal, probably a really bad idea. Are we missing a card? Why is this not... Something's up. Let's check all the lands. Oh, it was a version of Windswept Teeth. Okay. Cool. Deck is legal. Let's check on the basics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 12. Ooh, what can we cut? What can we cut? That seems good. Ash Barrens fills the yard. Well, Demolition Field shoots lands. That's important. I mean, we could get a basic for that, but I do like having that around. I'm going to take a basic for that. I do want... I'm just kind of looking at the deck, and like there's a lot of things that pull out basic lands in this deck, so I will take an extra basic land. Anything else? Do we care about Mistveil? I usually just run Mistveil in every deck. We do have a couple tutors, though. Yeah, we'll leave Mistveil in. Minos Tirith should be okay. What about Nykthos? Nykthos is generically strong, but... Yeah, we'll probably just leave it. Okay, let's fire up a game. You would snapcut Tome of Legends? No way. Tight for Emeria. Ooh, I mean, I've been running the 7 to 8 planes with Emeria for many years. If you discard any lands, it's an issue. But I definitely get what you're saying. We'll just leave that as is, and we'll go try to find a game and test this thing out. Casual for fun. I wonder if that's... No, that's buddies only. Play whatever. Non-CEDH. That sounds like us. And now we wait. Check on chat. Arena of Glory and the land base. Which one's that? Is that one of the like fighting ones? Arena of Glory. Oh yeah, exert, give haste. Seems pretty good. We'll add that in after the fact, and then we'll figure out something to cut. What enchantments are in the deck? That's in the deck, and Searing's in the deck. Land tax is in the deck. Yeah, there's enough enchantments. There's enough enchantments to justify that. Unfortunately, with the escape costs, like, I think we're kind of forced into running every single fetch. And, yeah, that's just... It's not the best. Maybe there's a world... maybe we do cut Emeria. But if Emeria ever gets going, though... Ooh, I don't have Hall of the Bandit Lord in. I definitely should. Good thinking. Yeah, we'll add that in after, too. Ooh, and Phlage negates the life loss from Hall of the Bandit Lord, so that's a thing also. Okay, we've got 1 land, Sword of the Animist, Ash Baron, or 2 lands, I guess. Tithe. Yeah, this seems reasonable. Seems very reasonable. Keep. Take a sip of water. Oh, Arena's tight if running Emeria. Okay, yeah. Yeah, and I mean, in some sense, based on what this deck's doing, it's probably going to be real tough to get that Emeria. So I'm going to cut the Emeria and go for the Arena because that seems good. And we'll get the Hall of the Bandit Lord in. Obviously, that's not going to make this game, but there are certain decks where Hall of the Bandit Lord is just absurd, and I think this is one of them because haste is ridiculous on our commander. Our turn one. Ooh, yeah, I haven't really got to play this card yet, so that's very exciting for me. Virtue of Courage. Hopefully we get to play that this game. Let us get the Plateau. And then we'll do the thing to cycle an Ash Baron. Are we going to do that? Maybe we're not. We are not on the play, so we could tithe next turn. And getting that out of the way is probably a really good idea. Take a look at what our opponent's playing. That's a preordained. We got Rutha Mercurial Artist. 3 mana for a 1/4. Pay 2. Return it to its owner's hand. Copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Yeah, I'm sure that's abusable in some way or another. It's the classic is it spell slinger deck. There's been so many of those commanders over the years. In the middle, we've got Shram. Shram should be interesting. Could be auras, equipments, or vehicles. We don't know yet. Abaddon the Despoiler. I don't think I've seen. 5 mana, 5/5, Trample. During your turn, spells you cast from your hand with mana value X or less have Cascade, where X is the total amount of life your opponents lost this turn. So, Cascade for as much spells with the amount of life that's lost have Cascade. Okay. Well, that's Cascade in the command zone. That is busted 100% of the time, so we'll want to be careful with that. We will play the Tithe right now because there are 2 lands. Misspell stayed in. Let's just get to... let's get that. We'll get a Sacred Foundry. One of these may get discarded. I haven't run the math here. That's okay if that happens, though. Let's see. Play the Sacred Foundry. Go away. No, please go away. Like, really go away. Yes, pay the 2 life. And then we can cycle that, or we can not discard. I feel... Let's not discard. I like having all of our land drops set up, so we'll just play the Sword of the Animist right now. With this and this, we are primed to just, like, annihilate whatever our opponents put into play, which I'm rather excited about. I've been long searching for the Boros control deck, and Phlage is certainly a strong candidate for that. Opponent just scooped. 1 down. At least we don't have to deal with the Spellslinger deck. That's exciting. Because, like, that's the hardest thing for us to interact with, right? If once a bunch of stuff just goes on the stack, then, you know, we just don't have a lot of tools to interact with that. But yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about this Phlage deck for a little while. And by thinking about it, I mean thinking that I wanted to build it, but not actually how I was going to go about it. There's Shram. This is a card I think I only played the 1 game, maybe 1 or 2, when I built the combo version of it. And it's just been one that I've been wanting to get back to. Especially since, like, I think they're like $1 million now. And, you know, I was very excited that, like, my card analyzing abilities were still very good in the moment when that came out, that I'm like, oh, that card looks insane. And now it's played, like, everywhere, I think, and is insane, and is also very expensive for those reasons. But anyway, brings back to our turn. There's another land. There's a Bonder's Enclave. Not a lot to do on 3 here, which probably means like fighter class and cycle the Ash Barons is what I'm thinking. Let's go fighter class. We got Basilisk Collar, Bitterthorn, Lightning Greaves, Mask, Shadow, Hearth and Home, Reaver Cleaver. Based on what we have currently, I don't think we need the Death Touch. The Lifelink is always kind of exciting. Do we need more card? We do have the Virtue of Courage, so maybe we don't need tons of card draw. Do we need Ramp? We'll get the Reaver Cleaver. That is a very big, like, finishing play. I don't necessarily love showing opponents that, but hopefully they'll forget about it by the time it's relevant. Play the Bonder's Enclave. Cycle the Ash Barons. Get a Plains. And we'll pass. Am I excited for Ether Drift? I'm hoping to out my Boros Dwarves vehicle deck back to go. Oh, put Boros Dwarves vehicle back together. I have not looked at Ether Drift very much. I have not really been keeping up on the spoilers. Well, now's not the time to go look. But yeah, I haven't been keeping up on the spoilers well. Usually once the set comes out, I'll just take a quick gander through it, see if there's anything that like really excites me. But you know, for the most part, I've been kind of out of the loop a little bit. Metalworker, that's definitely getting shot. Maybe not this turn, but like next turn, almost definitely. Yeah, Blink is like, it's not the most amazing thing with Phlage, but if you just need something dead, if you're just like, you know what, I'll recast my commander later and I need this thing dead right now, you can Blink Phlage. Trinket Mage. Man, I feel like I haven't seen that card in forever. I don't know, it's one of those cards that like, it's been around for a long time, but it's like, I'm just now realizing like how busted getting a Soul Ring is, and like I know that it's busted, but I don't know. It's like one of those things. You take that effect for granted in that color, and like when you're not in that color and don't have like incredible access to Soul Ring, then you know it's a very different kind of game. So like opponent just went to town with the ramp. They are very far ahead of us. Minas Tirith. Tapped unless you control a legendary creature. We do not, so we'll hold off on that. I think we go Roaming Throne first. Does this do 2 damage to a target? It does do 2 damage to a target. Notably, it would kill that, but I want to get this Roaming Throne in because it is big and clunky. Oh god, what's our creature type? Giant seems like the correct choice. That's a replacement effect, so when it's chosen, if a triggered ability of another creature you control of the chosen type triggers an additional time. Does that also apply to the escape? No. Well, I guess it would apply twice, but if you escape, then I guess it's fine. Okay. Okay, Ethereal Armor does make it harder to kill Shram. Metalworker, about to put some work in. How many things we're revealing? Moonsilver Key is a great way to grab Soul Ring. I sadly don't run it as much as I should. Oh god, they have all artifacts in hand. Okay. That's bad. Soul Ring. Mystic Forge. There's going to be a lot of value coming down here. Commander's Plate. Wait, not in your identity? Oh, crap. Ooh, Commander's Plate is scary. Brotherhood Regalia, that's the ward. That's going to be annoying for us. We do have a problem on our hands. What turn is it? Turn 4? This all happened much faster than I was expecting. I guess they well, Metalworker. Should have shot the Metalworker. Should have shot the Metalworker. This is all a Metalworker problem. That's what this is. Oh god, yeah, and they just keep drawing? Okay. Yeah, things are going to have to die. Commander's Plate is a really bad time. Hopefully the Grixis deck has, like, some removal. It's a Grixis deck, so you think that's what's going to happen. Prying Blade. Note to self, always shoot the Metalworker. Shadow Spear. They don't have tons of mana for equips, so hopefully they mess up and don't put the Commander's Plate on. That would be ideal. Denitha. Unless do they have mana somewhere that I can't see? Blackblade Reforged. Okay. Blackblade will also make it harder to kill the thing with Phlage. The ward is super annoying. So we will not be able to kill that this turn. We will not have the mana. Shadow Spear is on. Regalia. Notably, Commander's Plate is not on yet, but we're still kind of like a board wipe would clean that up much better. All right, at least they're going over to the other deck. They take a hit for 4. You've been loving the Surveil lands? 2 to 4 of the modal dual faces. Witch Enchanter? Oh, that's the creature one, right? I gotta look it up again. I really like the Stone Rain one. That one's really good. I actually probably should have put that in here. That one I really, really dig. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you know, like a lot of it is when you're online and you have like all the fetches, and a lot of times I won't run all of the fetches. It's a Pestilence deck. Well, still not going to... Yep, they're going to Pestilence for 1. That's not going to kill... It will kill Metalworker if they have another black mana. And that I can get down with, so that's actually a big deal. Denitha also goes down, so... Cuts down opponent's mana quite a bit. What's this thing do? Enters a copy of any creature on the battlefield except it's a spirit. Oh, no. Yeah, that's not what we want. It's not what we want at all. Do you think we're going to be into a heavy control kind of game now? Armed and Armored. Which one is that? Nope, didn't spell it right. Durgar Hedgemage is potentially a sight for sore eyes. So in theory, we'll probably shoot the Pestilence. That gives 1/1. This is giving 1/1. Start with just the plains, I guess. I'll double check this. If you control 2 or more mountains, you may destroy... Okay, we're good on both. An artifact, 2 or more, you may destroy an enchantment. Hmm. 3 and 3, and we can't afford that yet. I'm tempted to just get like a animist hit in somewhere. I think that's probably the right idea because we just need mana. Our opponents, well, opponent shot ahead with the metalworker play. Now that it's gone, their mana kind of comes back to normal, but we're still, yeah, we're behind on mana. So we'll attack over here, get our land. A lot of red in this deck, so we're going to go for a mountain. And we cut the Emeria. Usually I go for plains because Emeria is usually in the deck, but... How much black mana do they actually have? They have 1, 2, 3... Yeah, I mean, I don't foresee them killing with Pestilence. Blackblade Forge gets you killed. Commander's Plate makes removal really difficult. Yeah, let's get the Hedge Mage in. I think we go Blackblade. Because if Blackblade's on there too, then like that also makes it really hard to kill with Phlage, and then we shoot... Yeah, get rid of Pestilence. I mean, you know. Pestilence is like a safety valve, but I don't think it's going to be... It's not going to be great against Voltron. They're just not going to have enough mana. So it's probably going to hurt us more than it's really going to help the current situation. So use both of these abilities. My rationale is that, like, Blackblade just gets you killed really quickly. And that's concerning, so... right now, they still have, like, a lot of value-y bits. And, like, value is good, but at least it's not just plainly killing you. So, gives us, like, a little bit more time to kind of figure things out. And... Oh, yeah. Yeah, Armed and Armored would be insane. Hopefully they don't have it. Hopefully they fit the pocket of lands in their deck. Spirit Link. Lifelink. It could be fun if we weren't just watching this Shram player go absolutely wild. Farewell would get them really good. Even just like a Savines to reanimate this and kind of get that back could be interesting. Ugh, Krark-Clan Ironworks? No. This deck. Well, I wish we're going to have to try to find another way to get a blink with this Hedge Mage, because that is a problem. Now it's an 8-8. Boots. Well, now we just can't shoot it. Now it becomes a matter of, like, find a board wipe. Oh, no, Vigilance. I was just, like, doing all the math. I'm like, I don't think they have Vigilance yet, and now they're probably going to have it. Because at least if they don't have Vigilance, then we can swing in with this, get a sword, potentially get, like, a Reaver Cleaver shot. Really hoping the Grixis deck has, like, an Edict effect, a board wipe. Spirit Link Commander's Plate. This is 1-1 Vigilance and Trample. So they're still going after the Grixis deck, thankfully. Here's a question. Is there a world, if we get this into play, with that, how many Phlage triggers does it take to... they're going up in life, so it's only going to get harder, but how many Phlage triggers would it take to just, like, straight kill them? I don't know. So you get... So it would come in, if this is in, then you'd get 6 on the first, 6 on the second. So on the ETB, it would be 12. On the attack, it would be 12. Man, you can shoot through that. Ooh, Mazavith. Gotta get rid of the Shroud now. Gotta get rid of the Shroud. This game has spiraled. Did I ever tell you about the Morophon deck I'm working on? No, I don't think you did. Yeah, the Shrom deck is, in fact, very nasty. This is the single nastiest Shrom deck I think I've ever seen, if we're being honest with one another. Elder Tribal? Nice. Are there that many? How many Elders? I guess there probably are, right? Because there's 2 cycles of these now, and then you got the ones out of M11 or whatever. Commander comes in... The problem is that, like, just casting Phlage... Because we can't kill this, like, killing their stuff means they probably just scoop. So that's, like, a thing that we have to kind of factor in here. Paying for the... Oh, no, right. It's only... it's only 2 less. Okay, so that's not a mana neutral play to do that. It's unfortunate. Opponents on 15 Commander. Opponent's going to send the 4/4 our way. Yeah, I mean, I guess they're just going to... Honestly, there's enough reanimation in this deck that blocking with this makes sense. There's like, I think Hearth and Home is the only blink source in the deck, but there are multiple reanimation sources, and being able to get that back might be able to get a key piece off of the Shram, in which we might actually be able to kill it. That is the reanimation. I'm not going to pay 6 for just the Hedge Mage at the moment, but it's a thing that we could do. We never found that land, huh? So, I mean, what I'm kind of thinking about is like... opponent has a Maze of Ith. I mean, they probably wouldn't use a Maze of Ith on our creature, though, right? Like, they're... Well, with the boots. Although... wow, I really don't want to pay 6 on an Ascend from Avernus for just that. Oh, it gets better if we put this to the graveyard. It does get better if we put that to the graveyard. Play the Minos Tirith. We have so many big things that like need to get into play, and would opponent let this go through? We need the Reaver. I don't think anything happens without the Reaver Cleaver. I think the Reaver Cleaver's got to be in because we're gonna need the mana. If the Reaver Cleaver comes in, then we might actually be able to like do cool stuff. There's also the world in which opponent could like change their mind and come over and just kill us next turn. That's a thing that could also happen, which I wouldn't be thrilled about. But I think we have to like sell out on just setting up as much as humanly possible. And hoping that like they kill them next turn and then we get a turn to, you know, just try to go absolutely wild with all of our stuff. I think that's all we can do. The KCI is going to be a giant problem, though. So are the Animist. Nah, they're going to maze it. Yep. Well, at least we have a blocker. We get a land out of it. Does it have ward? It does have ward. I was hoping they wouldn't do that in hopes that they would do it against the Shram, but with the boots on there, there's kind of not a reason to do it, really. There's 5 Elders from Tarkir. Okay. So are the Animists. Mountain, I guess. The big problem was we didn't shoot Metalworker. That's actually... We should have just shot the Metalworker. I started thinking, I'm like, oh, it's like if they're running Metalworker, it's probably a deck that looks like this, and then it's in fact a deck that looks like that, right? So... This can't be blocked at all. That's annoying. Yeah, opponent's gonna have a turn. So much value. Question is, how much do they want to ham it? Because, like, right now they can just literally just go over there and kill them. Yep, gotta get the more lifelink on there. Oh, that's double lifelink, isn't it? Yeah, that is 2 instances of lifelink because this is an actual lifelink. Their life total is going to go really high. I mean, I think we're basically on, like, farewell or bust. This would be a moment where the, like, an infinite loop with karmic opponent just scoops. Well, now we're just dead, so, yeah. Back to it. Try it again. What's coming out? Attack with 2 creatures. At some point, that's useful. Did I already cut Alpine Meadow? Yep. I'm gonna cut Bonder's Enclave. I don't know that we're degenerate enough for that game. That's a net decker person. I guess we just make our own game. Yeah, I don't know. Shram's never been my favorite. That's one of the more interesting games of Shram that I've ever seen. But yeah, really just that all came down to Metalworker, honestly. Oh, we got D-Manny. D-Manny's in. Yeah, if we shot the Metalworker, we buy ourselves more time. Our hand was fine, but it was a little clunky. We didn't have we couldn't get any early triggers with the Sword of the Animist, and that was a concern. Change the name of this deck. Any commander that isn't hyper-specific tutor is always a boring commander. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of commanders are boring to me now. Just like they're all too easy. It's too easy to just like you do the thing that they wanted you to do, and like that's that, right? I still I miss commanders that there was a challenge in building and playing the commander. Like Ashling the Pilgrim is still one of my favorite decks. Jagantha is one of my favorite decks. Like what you do with Jagantha isn't like super apparent, right? Yeah, you can do like a Woober tribal thing if you want, but yeah, I don't know. I enjoy the challenge of things, and things have gotten too easy. The sadness with that last game is that we never actually cast Phlage because it like didn't make sense to at any point on the one turn that like where we kind of could have. And that does make me sad. All right, we got 3. 1 to go. Having fun with Liberty Prime? Just fueling the big boy in the game is the game itself. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Part of me just like hates how fast and how efficient things are now, because like, you know, one more turn in that game could have been really interesting. I mean, I think that was only what, maybe turn 6, not even. There was a scoop in there, and that scoop changes things, because, like, that Shrom deck can only ever kill one player at a time, right? And, you know, if everyone stays in there, then, like, your greatest asset is the fact that, like, they can only kill one of you, and someone's going to get a chance to have, you know, to get a crackback on them or get something going, but you don't necessarily know who it's going to be. All right. Well, let's see if we can get this game up and going. If opponent would join the game, that would be nice. One of the things that, you know, having done, there's over 1,000 games on the channel now. The waiting in all of that games, in all those games, just absolutely kills me. Yeah, I wish people would just like play fast. I wish this was StarCraft, right? Like, if you're not there at the start of the game, right, you're at a disadvantage, and you're probably gonna lose. This is a tough mulligan. So we have 1 mana Esper Sentinel. We can get a fighter class after that. Fighter class probably makes it keepable. Late game, mid to late game. I'm gonna try it. Hopefully Esper Sentinel sticks. Oh, the Worms deck. Not the Worms. Oh, God. Attracts a Grand Unifier. Even worse. What's this? I don't know. Red, green, make all the mana, probably. You messed up your coworker's Civ 3 game? As I understand it, that game takes a really long time. I think I bought one of them, but never actually played it. Because everything I heard is that the time commitment is very large in that game. Exploration, disgusting. Nick those, get the misfail. Sadly, this coming in tap does put us a little out of sorts here, but it's been going for like 6 weeks. Oh, God. Yeah, there's the Soul Ring. Make everything terrible. At least, let's see. We got 3 green decks, so Mana Geyser should, in theory, be good. We need to get the 5 mana. And at some point, you need, like, probably, you know, you probably really got to get to about 6 just because you want, like, a Nykthos or something. Some way to get white mana going. Why you know Mulligan? I'm keeping on the strength of Esper Sentinel and Fighter class should be able to get us more ramp, but could have definitely mulliganed. If someone shoots Esper Sentinel straight away, this is going to look really bad. I don't know, maybe this needs to be more of a control deck. Maybe I'm running too many creatures. Maybe it just needs to be like, maybe all the creatures just need to like shoot something when they come in. Maybe it needs to be that deck. The bottom right might be a better spot for the face cam. I always go back and forth between the left and the right, although at this point there's not much happening on the right side. It just kind of depends on what's happening on the screen. There's another land. Get the Esper Sentinel. We want to get that card draw going. We'll get the wheels could happen, so we'll play the Nykthos. There, bottom right side. Kodamas into the Esper Sentinel. Love it. Love it. Get that first draw. D-Manny getting some lands. This is very scary to me. This is just like disgusting amounts of value. And the fact that it's an ETB is so abusable. Like, why? Why would they make it an ETB? Please make it a cast. I don't know, the other decks I've been thinking about recently. Right now, lately I've been in the mood to just like revisit old things that I like never got around to, that I always wanted to get to, and this is on that list. I've been really wanting to do what's it called? Belborca Spectral Sergeant. That's the name, right? Pretty sure. Yeah. I've been wanting to revisit Belborca just because, like, there's been so much impulse draw over the past few years that, like, that's probably a pretty interesting deck by now. And it wasn't bad the last time I played it, which was years ago at this point. But, yeah, so that one, I've been thinking about that one a lot. I do want to just update Tap Creature Tribal at some point. Been thinking a little bit about Indominus Rex a little bit, maybe trying to get some of the Jurassic Park stuff at some point. Do more of that. Didn't get to spend a lot of time with those. Opponent adds mana for each raccoon you control. Okay. Whenever you expend 4, you gain 3 life. Whenever you expend 8, exile 2 cards. Ooh, oh, that herb. Wait. Oh, it's the other Urabrask. Oh, it's the one that makes it really difficult to draw. It's that Urabrask. We did catch a land tax, which is cool. There's a lot of green at the table, so land tax will do a couple things in giving us cards and probably a few things that we can dump into the graveyard. Opponent gonna spread around some attacks. That's fine. I might hold the fighter class until it becomes very relevant. What do we hit? Sword of the Animist. Well, I guess that's what we're playing. So play a mountain. Play the Sword of the Animist. Play the land tax. And now I feel much better about our ramp situation, because part of me was thinking, like, fighter class, get something like a sword or a bitter thorn. But now that we just ripped that off the top, we can save this for, you know, potentially late game plays, probably like Death Touch, Lifelink, something like that. After you finish all Boros commanders, what's next? Jeskai? I mean, at the rate they're releasing products, I don't think I'm ever going to finish the Boros commanders, right? Like, I can't even, you know, even getting to the end of that seems daunting and not doable at this point. So I really don't know what's after that. Interesting thing that I've thought about, and I've thought about this a lot over the years. Maybe it's just me, but like, what would happen if they like stopped printing cards today, right? And I remember saying this even like, I don't know, probably 4 years ago when the product cycles really started getting kind of wild. Like, if they stopped printing everything like 4 years ago, it'd still take you years to kind of get through, like, I don't know, like all the commanders and commander legends, for example, right? Like, there's a ton in there, and if you wanted to build them or play them and like kind of understand them, it would take you a while to get through every one of those decks. And then like a million products came out after that that all had 20, 30, 40 commanders in them. So yeah, I don't know. It's just like, it's an interesting thought exercise of like, well, what if it all kind of like stopped today? Yeah, metas would develop, but like, there's still so much out there now. Like, God, compared to when I started playing Commander, oh, that'd be an interesting look up. I'm curious now. How many total commanders exist in the game? Uh, hey, we get to draw again. Love that. My scry falling is not as good as it could be. Let's see. We need type line, legendary creature. There are 2,349 commanders or legendary creatures in the game now. I remember looking this number up, I don't know, let's say 4 or 5 years ago, and I think it was about 1,200. So they've basically doubled the number of commanders that exist in the last 4 years. Going back, so that was like 4 or 5 years ago, I was around 1,200. God, when I started playing, that's going to be a tough search to do because you'd have to manually put in every. Is there a year? Can you do by like year? That'd be cool. Maybe there's a way to sort. Yeah, I would love to see how many like commanders existed in like 2011 because it's probably only at that point like probably a few hundred. And, many of them were bad and like not playable for a lot of reasons, but probably like pay a little attention to what opponent's going on. Looks like, I don't know, red green value or something. More exile stuff. Okay. Let's see. Sort. Where's the sort? Release date. There we go. Then do descending. We're getting attacked. We're getting attacked again. It's no good. Ascending? Which one do I want? Okay, ascending. All right. Give me 1 second. We're going to figure out how many commanders existed in like 2011 roughly when I started playing. That's 2006. That's Kamigawa. It is so many less than I'm thinking it was. Razia, that's 2010. What year was Dragon's Maze? We gotta look that up. Dragon's Maze, MTG. Release date. May 3rd, 2013. We'll just go with Dragon's Maze as the cutoff because that seems like a good spot. That is roughly what 300. There were 300 commanders when I started this game, maybe a little less. Good God. There are now 2,000 additional commanders from when I started this game. There's an Urbrask and a land tax trigger. We hit. What did we hit on the Urbrask? I didn't see. Was the next draw card this turn instead of the exile top card? They may play it this turn. I don't see our exiled card. Yeah, I guess we're gonna grab a bunch here and start dumping stuff in the graveyard. Although maybe we'll just go 2 for now because we do need to leave things in the deck for Sword of the Animist. And that's where, like, again, not having all the fetches is good because you can leave more stuff in the deck. Okay, we need to do things. That's a 4/4. That'll kill our thing. Those could. That's a 5/5. We don't have a great attack anywhere, which is unfortunate. So we may just have to save that for a moment when something's kind of open. Let's see. Play the plains, I guess. We're on 4 mana. What do we have? I've been screwing around doing other stuff all game. Oh, we have an Enlightened Tutor. That's interesting. Well, we should probably cast that, huh? Do we have a way to draw that? Opponents would need to cast a spell. Well, cast an Enlightened Tutor. What do we want? We have Tentative Ramp with Sword of the Animus, but no way to attack, and Mana Geyser. How's card draw? Esper Sentinel's getting us some cards, but that may dry up at some point. Rising of the Day is really good in our deck. Virtue of Courage. It's pretty wild. A lot of these are pretty wild, to be completely honest. This is... Are we getting Descent into Avernus? Maybe we're getting Descent into Avernus. Just watch everything get annihilated. Then each player creates X treasures and does X damage to each player where... it just kills the players, doesn't kill the creatures. Do we need a Blind Obedience? Oh, Blind Obedience would probably be good against D-Manny. He'll probably do some nonsense that I won't be thrilled about. Honestly, we could probably use, like, Better Ramp. This is Better Ramp, is what that is. Ooh, protection from... I think we're on Hearth. Let's get Hearth and Home. That seems like really good ramp. Okay, so then we... What do we do? Anything worth shooting? This does 3, doesn't kill that, doesn't kill that, doesn't kill that. That's all unfortunate. Yeah, I guess we just equip this thing. My thought here is that Hearth and Home will make this unblockable or anything really. And then we can get 2 lands per attack, and that seems really good. But there is... Oh, and we have to discard. Okay, get rid of the planes. And, yeah, there's a world in which, like, Rising of the Day might have also been a good idea. Should do Alibu next. I do need to play Alibu. Alibu, scrying like 6 or something is really cool. It's just like a cool thing to do. It's not something you get to do a lot. There aren't like a lot of ways to scry, you know, more than like 2 or 3. Cultivate. We're gonna draw that Hearth and Home. Love that. Love that. It was a big deal that Dominaria brought uncommon commanders and just recently got... Oh, we just recently got a common commander option. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot about... Oh, no, not Great or Good. Great or Good is disgusting. Like, it basically just allows him to, like, loop through his deck. Luckily, he doesn't have, like, crazy mana yet, but... This is a card that I have no love for. But yeah, as I'm thinking about this deck more, I'm kind of feeling like you can do the combat thing with it, but I think you do need to play it as like a harder control deck than what we've got here. And it wouldn't be that hard to switch it over. You know, more Durgar Hedge Mage type stuff, like have, you know, all that type sort of stuff. So maybe a couple blink effects, right? Get some of the blink ETB stuff going on and just really just like slow the game down and make everything miserable, and more board wipes, more artifact and enchantment removal big time. And then you can just, like, grind the game to a halt. I love weird control decks. I don't know why. Never got into, like, Esper control that much, but, like, I love, like, killing all of the creatures' control and, you know, slowly getting an advantage while doing so. Oh, no. Atraxa with a Conjurer's Closet doesn't make me feel super great about what's going on. Where's that Durgar Hedge Mage? Could use that guy right now. Hate playing against Gruul Control of all things. I don't know that I see Gruul Control all that much. But where's that last, like, the something will? Kaluth's Will or something like that is a pretty nasty little board wipe. Opponent goes up to 6 cards. What'd they get? Probably all disgusting stuff. There's a Galta in there. Fantastic. Love that. Soul Herder, Reclamation Sage. Ugh. What is this for each card type? Well, I think we know who the arch enemy is. At least, hopefully, opponents know who the arch enemy is. Looking at our mana, we need one more turn. We need a turn of, like... Someone's got to do something to slow all this down, like Galta's. You know, that Blind Obedience is sounding pretty good. I kind of wish we grabbed that. Probably should have grabbed the Blind Obedience. Got greedy. I was thinking, like, all right, we can... Everyone at the table is green, right? So protection from green is very helpful. But Blind Obedience probably keeps us from just dying. Up to 11 cards does look like a max hand size currently, though. Urabrask. You have mono green stacks. It's gross. Yeah, yeah, I can believe it. Sorry, 447 cards through 2011 and 1875 cards after 2011. Yeah, right. Like it was a different game, right? When you have what 400 commanders. I might have missed something in my thing. I'm not sure, but yeah. Why was my number lower? Were you including? Did you include planeswalkers in there? Oh, there's probably a few planeswalkers. I probably missed a few planeswalkers, but no, I don't know. Were you including planeswalkers in that count? Because there were a few in what 2009 and 10 or something like that. Might inflate that number a little bit, depending on how you do the search. But yeah, think of it this way: almost 2,000 new commanders since I've started playing this game. That is disgusting. Cool card. I don't know that we're going to live long enough to be able to use this thing. Kogla. That kills stuff, doesn't it? Although killing Atraxa doesn't like necessarily solve the problem. Opponent draws a card, and they're going to fight the Atraxa. I mean, it's something. They both die? Well, it's got Death Touch, doesn't it? Yeah, they both die. The Death Touch blocker is annoying. We should, like, shoot that, but, man, these games are going so fast. Ah, okay. Yeah, maybe I was off on something, but yeah, right. You know, it's very different when there's about 400. When your card pool is 400 versus 2300, right? Those are very, very different things. Yeah, I'm really nervous about what's about to happen here. Natural order. Not thrilled about. There are definitely, yeah, just like Blink City deck. A Reaver Cleaver could be interesting because we need more colors of mana. Like the problem now, or time. Time would also help, but I don't know how much time we really have. If no one can do anything to slow down the Atraxa here. Urbrask and land tax. Am I planning to go to any of the Magic Cons this year? I have to look at where they are. I haven't actually looked. It wasn't. We'll see. Finances are a little better this year, so it's like theoretically possible that I could go to one or two. Yeah, we'll pull a land out just to have something discard. Hall of Heliod's on top. Yeah, we'll play the Hall. We could get a ton of red mana, but that only gets us... That would get us a Hearth and Home, a Karlach. I don't know that that's worth it. In theory... So if we had Hearth and Home and Karlach, that would... I mean, that gets us 4 lands. That's like a pretty permanent jump forward. Two of them would be untapped. Versus if we just go Hearth and Home, we get 2 lands, but then we have Mana Geyser for next turn, and we're kind of praying that we don't just die, is what we're looking for. The problem is, it's just like even if we do the Mana Geyser thing, we'll get a lot of mana, but like there's not a lot of follow up because of the way our colors are. And with fighter class and everything, it's all got to be second combat, or it's got to be after combat because the way everything shakes out. So that's unfortunate. So I guess for now, get Hearth and Home. Probably should have mulliganed this hand, honestly. We have drawn a lot, but yeah, it's just the ramp. Hey, this deck... We need to work... I think we're going to have to rework this deck a little bit. Swing into the Atraxa opponent. Get an Animist. Get a Mountain with that one. Ah, opponent just scooped. Oh, crap, we're not going to get the Hearth and Home. That's annoying. I mean, they probably win on their turn, right? Or at least, like, they cast Galta and do insane things. Well, this just got weird. Now there is a big Gruul deck that can do disgusting things. We do have to discard some cards. Part of me is tempted to discard these 2 creatures and just set up Ascend from Avernus. That is a thing that I am tempted to do. Because actually, well, with the Mana Geyser, well, Mana Geyser's less good now that one player's gone. So there's that. So maybe we do set, yeah, let's set that. Oh, that's a lot of mana, though. We'd probably still have to Mana Geyser, and that would be the entire play. We'll get rid of these 2 for now. All that said, if we don't just die, I think we can get 2 Phlage triggers, maybe 3 with a blink. Unless D-Man wants to wipe the board for us. Wouldn't be opposed to that. He's got a really big worm. So, this presents an interesting conundrum in that we are wide open. But if opponent just kills us, getting through this worm is surprisingly difficult. Importantly, he tapped out all his mana, so probably going to do some semblance of Mana Geyser play this turn. Fighter class for boots might be a thing to think about. We do need to watch for big explosive plays from our opponents. Another value creature. There's like Gruul value. Nature's Lore is fine. Esper Sentinel. Karmic Guide is interesting. Really interesting with a Hearthenhome. Which is why we left it in. This isn't the most game-breaking thing that we could grab, though. It is more card draw. Would get a little bit bigger, and just getting blocking at some point would be a good idea. Jeska's Will. Okay, their turn's going to keep going. Conduit of Ruin. Wonderful. And a lot of lands. Well, oh wait, no. Okay, yeah, so they hit a lot of lands, so that's good news for us. They hit the patch of lands. They do have an exploration, so I guess they can get 2, which they did. No, they still have a lot more mana. Oh, they got 8 mana off us. Jeez. That's a lot. I love when people play decks that easily become archenemy and then they scoop when they become the archenemy. Yeah, right? Like, hey, what up, Jake? I heard this dude sucks at Magic. Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes lately, because I don't play that much anymore. I used to be so good. When you play every day, it's easy to be good. 1 damage each opponent. Yeah, this all looks disgusting. Trying to avoid the big Crater Hoof overrun style thing in this moment. Problem is, like, Phlage is more of like a single target removal kind of thing. And chewing through a bunch of tokens is probably going to be fairly difficult. Yeah, Karlach, like, almost certainly has to come in. How we get there, I want to see what we draw, because that will be pretty important, I think. But yeah, Karlach almost certainly has to come in. What is this thing? Gain control. Oh, until end of turn. If they attack, we will get additional lands. And I will sign up for additional lands. Just checking the wording. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that all works. Because I'm like, the thing I've been looking at is like, how do we solve the white mana? We need enough white mana after we mana geyser to still do all the stuff that we need to do. Oh crap, did they just give their team haste? I think they just gave their team haste. That is scary. That's probably close to lethal. Question is, who do they want to kill? Looks like they're kind of splitting it up. Okay, that's going to give us a chance. Ooh, Annihilator 1. Use the ability. Get a planes. These lands are going to be massively helpful, though. Hearth and Home. I don't want to... What's this one do? Yeah, I don't want to blink the creature just because I want to leave all the equipment on. Get another planes. Yeah, on our turn, I think it's going to be time for the control deck to start doing control-y things, although I guess we're not built as the best control deck. Jake says he beat me with my own deck. I mean, yeah, you know. That did happen. I built it, so, you know, it's got to count for something. Okay. Let's see what we draw. Big moments. We need to not mess up our lines of play. I'm probably not going to land tax just because we're very likely to pull the rest of the basics out of our deck. I do like this Urabrask. It's surprisingly annoying. It's not as good as like the old one, but it's really good against like kind of combo-y based stuff. I'll just take a look to see how many there are because it's good information to have. There are exactly 4 basics in the deck, so we're just going to leave those because in all likelihood, we will probably pull all of them out. Oh, well, we just found one of them, so I guess we can only pull 3 out. Play that Plains. So mana geyser before or after combat? I mean, before is usually the smart thing. We would get 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, 17 red mana. It'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'd have 4 white mana left over with a couple white in the second main. Interesting. Death Touch is interesting. Lifelink is also interesting. Death Touch Lifelink is interesting also because if gaining life against their current board could theoretically keep us alive. The thing that we aren't doing a lot of is drawing cards. Something like that Virtue of Courage would be pretty solid right about now. Mask of Memory isn't the worst choice. Because that would get us, with the 2 combats, that's a lot of extra cards to look at, and that's not the worst thing. Plus, we can, like, set up creatures for Karmic Guide. It's not awful. And in there, like, you know, a Blasphemous Act would do wonders for us. Because I'm thinking about, like, Boots would be cool, but Boots only kills, like, what, one on ETB, 1 on attack. Doesn't, like, really get us there. So, okay, yep, the clock's yelling at us. So, Mana Geyser time. We will try and save the Nykthos if we can. Although that does cut into our white mana, doesn't it? Well, we'll just use the Nykthos. Maybe next turn on Nykthos. Yeah, Mana Geyser. 17 red mana. Let us get a Karlach. Fighter class. Oh, this could be a Reaver Cleaver situation. Opponent does have 1 colorless blocker. That's unfortunate. What's the nastiest thing we can get? Reaver Cleaver and then go over to D-Manny. Could be interesting. That's more mana. That kind of keeps everything going. What did I say? Other than that, Lifelink is interesting. Mask of Memory is interesting because we'd be out of mana for board wipes. How do we survive? Boots get our commander is not the worst thing I've ever heard. Well, if we get, we need lifelink still though. Yeah, I mean it's probably got to be Reaver Cleaver for the mana. Yeah, with 2 combats. Problem is we just kind of run out of cards after that. But we can cast Phlage theoretically a lot of times, so maybe there's something to that. I'm going to go Mask of Memory. We need cards. As much as we need mana, we also need cards. And I don't know how we get through all this. So, Mask of Memory. Equip that here. Still got some mana left. Thinking maybe Karmic Guide Phlage seems okay. Karmic Guide. Get back this guy. Ooh, this will get us cards, actually. That is important. We do need cards. Cast Phlage. Got to use one of our last white mana here, which I'm not thrilled about. It will die. We can kill something with 3. Whenever you cast a spell from exile, make a wolf. That seems like it's a real big problem. Enters, add 1 mana of any color. Whenever another creature where you control power 4 that draws cards. I'm going to cut down the thing that's making wolves. That seems like a good idea. Command zone or graveyard? Karmic Guide. I'm expecting to blink Karmic Guide, so I think we leave it in the graveyard. Okay, one thing down. We get a counter. It's only work once a turn, only once each turn. That's disappointing. Inferno Titan is interesting. We don't have the mana for Inferno Titan. That's sad. And we go to combat. And then we swing into D-Manny. Sword of the Animist, Karlach. Animist will get the mountain, I guess. Hearth and Home, blink the Karmic Guide. Oh, this actually seems pretty cool, actually. Because we can do this twice? Ooh, and a Sun Titan. Okay. Okay. Ooh, discard and what, Inferno Titan? Sun Titan can also get some lands for us. But Inferno Titan can cut down maybe potentially more stuff. What does Sun Titan do? Sun Titan would get us... Hearth and Home will get us a land. What does 3 mana do? I don't think 3 actually does all that much. So, yeah. Dump Inferno Titan. Get another Plains. This is what I'm talking about with the basics, because we are just going to run out of basics. Let's get Inferno Titan. Let's shoot this guy. And Phlage does 3, right? We could put 1 on there. That's a 7-2. We can kill that. Or okay, maybe we do it this way. So, okay, yeah. So we do that, and then we get another 3. We could kill that thing. Start dropping some of this value. God, if we only had haste. If we only had haste. Oh, man. Attack D-Manny again, because we need all the value. Sword of the Animist ability. Mountain. Actually, so we should have left that for the Hearth and Home, because it would come in on tap, and we could theoretically leave up Sajiri's Shelter. Okay, so Hearth and Home, we have a choice. We could blink Inferno Titan. And... Or we could blink Phlage. Phlage gives us a little more life gain, while also still killing this Urabrask. think we get Phlage. So, Karmic Guide, Mask of Memory. Torbrand's interesting. Discard this Flooded Strand. No more lands to grab. Blink, getting Phlage. It will be sacrificed, but not before we can shoot this Urabrask. Yeah, we'll just leave it in the graveyard. Make this thing bigger. Okay, we had a little bit of a turn. Reaver Cleaver in there would have been good. Hearth and Home, pretty wild with the Karmic Guide. Got to do some fun stuff there. We're at 31. That's a little tentative if opponent has a big play in hand. They could get us. They could get us. D-Manny's probably in a rock and a hard place. Unless he's got like an Ugin. Ugin would... there's still some colorless on the board. Ugin would not clean up these two. Check on our White Devotion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. That may have been an avenue that we... Well, I guess we tapped the Nykthos at one point, so... I really wanted to kill this thing just because it has a lot of power, but I misclicked. Though getting rid of the value, the opponent has been valuing pretty hard, so getting rid of the value-y bits probably a really good idea. See what D-Manny's got. Hurricane or something? Pest Infestation. Well, that's annoying. At least we draw. There's Shadow Spear. Shadow Spear can keep us alive very well. That opponent gets a bunch of 1/1s. Would they lose? They lost this thing. I don't even know what that does. And a Soul Ring. Okay. See what opponents got. Hopefully they don't have like the overrun effect. Shadow Spear is a solid pickup for us, though. I guess Sun Titan can get some of this stuff back. Yeah, thank God all the swords are in Sun Titan range, so yeah. Can also get Phlage back, which I was looking at. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. It won't stick, but, you know, if you need another Phlage trigger, it'll do a job. Opponent's gonna Ren's Resolve. Okay. Doesn't pay. Hall of the Bandit Lord. That's the haste that we've been missing. We can do some stuff with that. Oh yeah, that's interesting. That's really interesting. Oh, what do we even want to do? It's actually going to get weird because Phlage is in our graveyard, so we'd... Ooh. Yeah, we can't cast Phlage with haste. We could cast Sun Titan with haste, at least easily anyway. Because we'd have to, like, reanimate We have to get Phlage back into the command zone to do it with haste that way, but 2/2, it fights a thing. That's not great. Ooh, Karlak going down isn't the best. Our plans were definitely heavily involved around Karlak. Also, paying for the Karmic Eye, it's not going to be like the greatest mana that I've ever wanted to spend. Maybe we just use the Nykthos to do it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Farseek. Yeah, so far they haven't made the big play. Yeah, so this is like red-green impulse draw, basically. Kind of interesting. It'll work with Phlage if... let's see. No, because it has to escape. Yeah, you're right. Hall the Bandit Lord does not work the way that we want it to with Phlage. That is correct. Whoops. Well, we can pull that out after. There's a Chandra. I mean, it's good, but it's not... Actually, the worst thing they could do would be shoot the Karmic Guide. That would actually be not great for us. Okay, they go exile, so they're digging. Love that. Triggers Lelia. The 7/7 over here is actually kind of annoying to get through. Ooh. Torbran with Inferno Titan seems disgusting. I don't actually know that I've ever made that happen before. Okay, the opponent did not have the big disgusting turn. Still just more value. So much value. How do we cheat the cost on Karmic Guide? Ooh, maybe we just go Ascend from Avernus? What does Ascend get us? That would get us Karmic Guide, Karlak, our Commander. It's not awful. There's a lot of mana, though. It'd be 5, so we'd have to spend 8, which would be, well, with the thing, it's maybe not that bad. Are we paying this Echo? I think we're paying the Echo. Does come in tapped? It does come in tapped. Oh, we can't haste Sun Titan this turn because of that. That's not the best. That is not the best. All right, first, no land tax, obviously, because there's no lands left. Karmic Guide. Do we let it go? So we pay 5 and keep a Karmic Guide, or we pay 8 and get 3 creatures? Yeah, we get 3 creatures, right? Let the Karmic Guide go. No. No. Blasphemous Act. Well, that's a sight for sore eyes. How do we protect stuff? We have 1 Sajiri Shelter. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So still mana positive on Nykthos. I like that. So I think it's something like Sajiri Shelter, Sun Titan, Blasphemous Act. Yeah, that seems like a play to me. That seems like a... Start with that. Let's do this and get a bunch of white mana. Sajiri Shelter on Inferno Titan. Chaos Warp is highly unfortunate. We will draw a card, though. Sulfim! Oh, no. Oh, look at this. Inferno Titan's getting shuffled in. Well, I guess we still have our commander to do the same kind of nonsense with. What do we reveal? Oh, Haywire Battlements. That's not what we need. Fizzles the Sajiri Shelter. Then we Blasphemous Act. All right, board is clear. Love that. Still kind of missing the haste. Wish I grabbed that at some point with something. D-Manny will gain a bunch of life. What's that put him up to? Put him around, what, 18 or so, give or take. Oh, I see what we can do. Oh, we get the Haywire Battlements is in play. Love that. Okay. What that means is, can we get Torbran and our commander? Because that would be disgusting. So the next thing we do is play this Plateau. Then we cast Phlage Escaping. No, we need to get Torbran first. So to cast Phlage, we're going to need, let's see, 4, and then 2 to give haste. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we have exactly enough to get Torbran. Although there's a world in which Shadow Spear is better. Sulfum's better. Sulfum's double. But we need red and red and red. I don't think we have enough red to do it all. Disappointing. Okay. That still means Phlage. Red, red. Exile 5 cards. Go Enlighten Tutor. Fetch land. Sajiri. Blasphemous Act. What's this one? That we can get back. I guess the plains. Uh, 3 damage. I guess we just go to the Planeswalker. Because the commander damage on the player is probably better. And then, let's see. We need to give this haste. So that'll use another red. Yeah, we don't have enough red mana for either Sulfim or Torbran. Next turn, though, should be very silly. Well, we do have enough. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Could get a Sun Titan. Or we could get Shadow Spear. The problem with the Shadow Spear play is that we kind of leave a lot on the table, but gaining life seems really good. The Sun Titan play... Sun Titan can get Mask of Memory. Sun Titan play it is, because opponent's got 0 cards in hand, so Sun Titan play it is. Keep the value coming. Sun Titan for Mask of Memory. Use the ability. Equip the mask, put it on our commander. Go to combat, swing into our opponent. Finish off the Chandra. Draw and discard with the mask. What are we going to ditch? Oh, God, we can do disgusting things next turn. Mountain, I guess. Haul the... Actually, yeah, Haul the Bandalord, because it comes in tapped, and we're probably... Nope, too late. Missed it. Well, I guess we discard it now. Because we have too many cards in hand. So if this holds up, we are prepared to... oh, yeah, we could have dumped all the damage. Oh, wait, we can do it with this thing. So we play this thing, dump all the damage guys, and then cast the Ascend from Avernus. And, like, that should be the game. The only thing we're missing is Mass Haste. We have a plan. Opponents may try to shoot. Oh, that's a magic card. That can do some things. Might change the math here. Although D-Manny's life total is very low for all of the damage doubling that we have. So, like, there's a world in which we could kill him with a single Phlage trigger just based on all this damage pumping. Do you guys know which one to vote for with this? I never know which one to vote for. This card is way too confusing for me. What is he? He has 6 cards in hand. Which one's in hand? Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card for each wild vote. Put those onto the battlefield, then shuffle the rest. You may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield for each free vote. I'm going to go free. I think free is the one. Bellowing Tangleworm. Annoying, but not game-ending. Garrick and that one can be game-ending. Especially when they draw 15 cards. Up to 19 cards. Hopefully he runs out of mana. Opponents... Oh, no. Opponent scoops. I wanted to see how much damage I was going to be able to do. Oh. Hate when that happens. I need to play against someone with a life gain deck, because really just want a nice damage sponge. You don't see people playing damage sponge decks anymore. You know, what's his name? Kambal? Up at like 60 life. That's when you're like, yeah, let's get this Gisela deck going. See what this thing can do. D-Manny's in trouble, though, because of the aforementioned damage doubling. See if he has any... Oh, shoots the land. Boo. Probably needed that land. This deck has been pretty mana hungry. I'll give it that. I'll give it that. You love being a damage sponge? I love when people are damage sponges. Right? Because when everyone's at like 20, if people are at 20 life, you don't need Aurelia, Gisela, and True Conviction in play, right? Like, one of them will probably do. I want that game where I need all 3 of those in play to win the game. With, like, a large army of stuff. I think it was an Adriana game years and years ago. I forget what it was. I think I did like 120 damage in a turn or something like that. D-Manny's at 17. I think we should be able to clean that up. Someone sent you to negative 370 from 160. Was that me? Did I do that? That doesn't sound like Boros numbers, though. That sounds like mono green numbers, honestly. Although, unless... There was the one where I did the... It was the... I think it was in... what's that card? Enduring Ideal deck? Oh, this is the beans. Play the Mountain. It was the art, and it was what's it? Doubling season with Assemble the Legion. I think it was that game, and like eventually they were all like 15-15s with double strike, and I think I did some absurd, just thousands of damage. Anyway, all right, yeah, let's play. Hopefully, we'll double check our mana. So that's the 8 we need to get all the cool stuff. Then 1, 2, yeah, we got plenty of mana. Cool. So start with this thing. Maybe this is supposed to be a Reanimator deck. Who knows? Okay, this ETBs. Discard that, that, and that. What's our biggest creature? Our biggest creature is 5. No, we have creatures at 6, don't we? Yeah, we do have creatures at 6. Ascend from Avernus for 6. And that's why we kept this hand, in hopes that the game would go this long and that we would get to do this. Go to combat! He should just die to the Phlage trigger. Oh, don't you have a fog. Don't you have it. Remember to apply Torbrand first. I am definitely going to mess that up. I have... oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, he shot our commander. All right, now we got to find mana. Does anyone see any mana? Crap. I'm actually nervous. I'm actually nervous. Where is Phlage going? We'll keep it in the graveyard. It seems like a good spot for it. Sun Titan will just die attacking into that. That's no good. Hope Demani does not have a big play. We'll cast the Shadow Spear. Maybe that'll keep us alive or something. It's 2 to equip, though. So then I guess we just... What's the other half of this thing? I don't know what Descending is. Who's getting the mask? Does anyone have evasion? This one has evasion. Put that there. You descended if you put a permanent into your graveyard from anywhere, so you need to do that, what, 3 times? Whenever you cast a permanent spell using this mana, discover X. Pray Demani doesn't have some nonsense that kills us. Yeah, that's the start of some nonsense. How many of our things die? Most of them? Oh, crap, I didn't make... Should have made Sulfum indestructible. Whoops. All right. This game is now going to be a slog. It's now going to be a slog. Okay. Descent into a... we did find a Virtue of Courage. That's something. And a Twin Flame. Comes in with a worm, yep. Gonna feel this. Can't take too many of those. Well, that was incredibly disappointing. Yep, what a turnaround. What a turnaround. Still haven't upgraded this thing. This might be a time to do that. Mesmeric Orb. With the Savine's Reclamation, that's actually not the worst thing. It gives us access to a lot of our deck. We could Savine's for 1 Phlage. We could then cast Phlage. We could then attack with Phlage. That is, what, 9 direct damage? It's not the worst thing I've ever heard of. What else do we got? Targets for this. Hearth and Home. That's got Trample. It's still kind of interesting, though. Could soak up a lot of damage. Twin Flame gets interesting. Actually, yeah, let's just see. So, play the War Room. One, two, three, 4. Slightly positive on the Nykthos. Could help us. Double check this escape cost. Oh, the escape cost stays at 4. That's actually huge. Okay. Wasn't sure about that. Which means we could probably get this guy. So let's see. 5 to get that guy. And then 1 more to get... No, he shot the haste land, so we can't give our commander haste anymore. Oh, that was a play. That was a play by him. You can go Virtue of Courage. And that gets us more cards, which is interesting. Savine's for Garrison. There you go. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. That is going to take a lot of mana. A lot of mana to do that. But I think that might be correct. Yeah. Savine's for Garrison. Then we need Twin Flame. Let's get our Nykthos mana. It's 4 mana. Nope, we need the Twin Flame still. Get the Twin Flame. Get Phlage. Exile a bunch of stuff. What don't we need? I think the day of Esper Sentinel has passed. Hall of the Bandit Lord, not particularly helpful. Mountain. Mana Geyser. And Torbrand, I guess. Okay. Are we better off shooting... Yeah, if we shoot both blockers... What's this say? Would deal damage to an opponent or permanent. Yeah. So we just shoot both blockers, and then I think we attack. And then life is good. Shoot this one first. He's going to protect it because, of course. And he gains 2 life. Hexproof and indestructible. Equip this Shadow Spear. Give our commander haste. Put mask on this. How many cards does he have in his deck? No, we can't mill him out with Mesmeric. That'd be fun, though. This might still do it. Attack with both. Now shoot this blocker. Yeah, get back to Hearthenholm. Surprisingly, be better to waste his. Maybe you're right. I haven't done that math. If we hasted that, that's 6 in the air. This removes the blocker. Should be 12 damage, I think. Right? I think getting rid of the blocker is better. Also, we gain life, which is important. So, like, this thing can't just come back and kill us if things go wrong here, which they could. They could. Blocks the commander. Do we have enough? Do we have enough? Oh, 1? He survives at 1? Tell me we had 1 damage somewhere. Oh, God. The Bitterthorn's not doing a ton in this moment. There are no lands left. We're up to 43, so that's the biggest thing, is that, like... There are ways for that deck to kill us from 43, but it takes a lot, and, like, he's used up some big plays already. The question is, how many more can he have? Yeah, because if we hasted this is only 6 in the air, and then both creatures get blocked on the ground. I guess this one has trample, which helps a little bit. What did I forget? Oh, right. Yeah, Shadow Spear has the ability to remove indestructible. Yes, I did. Hopefully we don't lose the game because of that. Yeah, Shadow Spear could have removed the indestructible. And I don't know what our mana looked like at that point. Did we have 2 at any point to... Well, no, I guess the other... Because I guess the... Or it's 1 to do the thing. But I guess the other issue is... It also got hexproof, so it didn't actually take the damage. I guess it's still a lot. So, yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Whatever. See what he's got. See what he's got. If it's even an Ugin. Well, if it's Ugin, I guess we just play Descent from Avernus. I do think, as we're nearing the end of this game, I do think I need to probably sit on the drawing board and figure out a little bit more what this deck wants to be. In some sense, it almost seems like it's wanting to be a ramp deck, because we got all these like 4-drops that double the damage, and they're all really cool. But you do need to ramp really hard to be able to play that stuff, and kind of like we definitely need more removal. So like maybe like ramp control with some reanimator. It's maybe a better way to go about this deck. Maybe cut down the equipment count a little bit. Yeah, maybe cut the creatures maybe a little bit. I don't know. I got to think about this deck more. It hasn't played exactly how I wanted it to. It's been harder. It's been kind of harder to set up Phlage than I would have necessarily anticipated. D-Manny's out is more likely to be just finding a way to kill us. That's like this deck usually. Now, he's lost really big pieces. Like he lost the Greater Good. If he had the Greater Good in play still, honestly, with this thing, like he probably draws so many cards that, he finds the things that make all the extra mana that he needs it to make, and so on and so forth. So the fact that he's lost some pieces along the way, particularly that one, has really kept him off balance. But yeah, so many times against this deck, it just comes out like it has this big explosive turn, and you get hit with all the damage. There's that, I think it showed up earlier in the game. It's the one that, it's the like ice worm that pumps itself up somehow. Yeah, worm gets XX, where X is the number of snow permanents you control. That thing can get really large late in a game. A little too toolbox and not enough Phlage support. Honestly, I think I need to go, I don't know. Yeah, like it needs to be more focused. Right now, what I'm thinking is kind of that ETB removal style deck where, you find all the Durgar hedge mages of the world, jam them in here, and, kind of play a fun little blink game with Hearth and Home for a little while until you're set up for Phlage. Because, yeah, I am noticing with Phlage, Phlage is just, it's a mana hungry card, because you basically play it as a spell, and then you have to play it as an escape, and that's just like it's a lot of time and a lot of mana to actually get like Phlage as a body into play. If he even has a fog. Well, I guess if he has fog, we just do Phlage stuff, but here comes the little worm. How did he get back to 35 life? Did anyone see that? Oh. Exile target player's gain graveyard. You gain 1 life for each card exiled this way. Well, that's a big play. That is a really big play. Feels like it's trying to do one too many things. Yeah, that's about where I feel like we're at also. That's a good way to get through 35 life. Blade Historian. All right, so this is that moment that I talked about where you actually need like multiple effects to do all the damage that you're wanting to do, and this seems awesome. So let's go Virtue of Courage. I'm excited about this. Blade Historian. Put a Hearth and Home on here. I mean, that's probably Commander lethal. So its double strike is 14. and double dam. We have double damage, right? We do have double damage. Should be 28, and that's not even the trigger. I think this should do it. At some point, I should have upgraded this throughout the course of the game. Just kind of didn't happen for a variety of reasons. To do this. Yeah, just shoot him in the face. Six damage dealt with the virtue of courage. This should be exciting. Use the ability. 6 extra cards. There's our early game value that we didn't find. Kept the slowest hand ever. Alright, what does he have next? He's going to draw a card. Praying for that fog. 28, I think. Do we have Exacxies? Got it. 24 Commander. Love it. Love it. Got there. All right. Yeah, let's think about this. Current iteration of the deck, it's not quite there. Like, it was cool what we got to do at the end. The synergy is cool. The lead up to all of that, all the kind of early game stuff probably needs work. Yeah, like I said, I do think it needs to be more of a ramp deck. Let's see. I looked at a bunch of lists on Moxfield that ran a bunch of 2 mana, bring target creature with 3 CMC back from the graveyard. Yeah, that'd be an interesting thing to do also. I've seen a really cool Iroas deck with that, actually. Way back in the day. You should find some stuff. You should find some more stuff that triggers off dealing damage. Yeah, we'd have to look. I feel like there are less of those cards than you think there are. I think. And like maybe there's some cool ones in the past year or so when I haven't been keeping up on everything. But because like doing damage is already kind of good, so there hasn't been like a lot of like additional payoffs for doing damage. Like, you know, like Virtue of Courage is that's a really interesting one that, you know, that fits the category for sure. But you know, a lot of the damage payoffs tend to be just doing double damage and doing more damage. So I'd be interested to see if there are cards that trigger like that. I'll be honest with you, we didn't trigger Phlage that many times. Like, think about how many triggers we actually got through the course. I mean, that was like a 10-ish turn game, and we got maybe 5 triggers, so maybe that's a little disappointing. Probably less equipment, like the equipment's tricky, right? Because, like, you need to ramp somehow. And you do want to be able to attack. And, like, you do probably want Shadow Spear and Basilisk Collar. But Sword of the Animist is awkward at times. Hearth and Home usually gives you a way to, like, get through the blockers. Yeah, I don't know. I got to think about this deck. Good game, D-Manny. I thought you were going to get me with many of the gaffes that sort of came up at the end there. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting deck. Like, I do think it needs to be more controlling. And it's almost midnight, so I'm probably not going to work on that tonight. But yeah, like it needs to be more controlling in a sense, and it needs to ramp and really kind of get you to a way. You need to get to that late game spot where you have like 15 mana, which it's just hard to force games into that spot. Because that's when you can do all the really cool stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I got to think about this more. It didn't play exactly how I thought it would go. I thought we'd be a lot busier with Phlage earlier in the game, and that's not really how it played out. So yep, more to come on that. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. It is midnight where I am. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hope to get something filmed and out, I don't know, say later this week, either late this week or early next week, in terms of like an edited video. So anyway, thank you guys for hanging out, and we'll see you guys again real soon.